Okay. Let me find stuff. Open up the stream here. Oh, excuse me. Where's my thing? Here it is. Close that down. Okay. I did post about it, right? Yes. Okay. Let me find the thing here. Here we go. Oh, I need to change the numbers. Hold on. We'll go ahead and give it a couple minutes, and then we'll get started here. Let me put that there for now. All right. Everybody in the chat, say hello to me. I'll feel all sad and alone if you don't. All right, I guess we'll just get going. We'll take a look at the draft here real quick while people file in. Okay. Go ahead and let up. I already have the game open, so we'll get going as soon as we're done with draft here. And this series was played already, so this player was played on Wednesday, I believe. And I know that poor team PDX has not been getting their games casted, despite their captain casting games. So figured, hey, I can cast this one. Why not? So all right, because they're going to be Team DOT on blue, PDX on red. Let's see here. A lot of bot lane bans for PDX. That's interesting. I actually don't remember who was all on DOT. I will find out when we get in the game. Diana banned. Smart choice for DOT. Definitely don't let Nightmare play Diana anymore. Not a fan of that. Mel first pick. That's a good choice. Good flex pick. You can put her multiple places. Sivir Bard. It makes sense. Sivir's pretty safe no matter what. Bard can roam a lot. It always makes sense. It's going to be a Senna and Jax. So Senna could really be either bot laner, and Jax could really be jungle or top. So lots of flex picks so far for Team DOT. All 3 champs flex picks. It's going to be a Jarvan lock-in. Obviously going to be a jungle for Nightmare. And then Orianna for the mid lane for JWM. Is that their mid? No. No, these are support. Their mid is... I'm blanking hard. I know who it is. I'm just blanking on who their mid is. It's going to be the Cassante lock-in, blind pick for DOT. If you have to blind pick a top laner, Cassante's a good choice. And then the Morgana last pick. So this could really be multiple places as well. I'm going to guess mid with Mel Senabot, but we'll see when we get to the game. And last pick, Ambessa to go against the Cassante. I do like the Ambessa here. A lot of immobile people on DOT that she can go for in a fight. I'm not sure how the matchup is against Cassante. I bet it's probably pretty good for Ambessa, but I guess we'll see. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and open up the game here. All right, here we go. We finally got some people filing in. Very good. I need my I need Eric in the chat to be trolling me. It doesn't feel like a proper stream without it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it is Chaos. Oh, interesting. This is the team with Wanting Monarch and Chaos and Nectarish on it. God, and they move some people around. Looks like Wanting Monarch's gonna go mid, Chaos is gonna go top, and Nectarish is gonna play support. So they all kind of swapped around a bit, which is interesting. And Blitzsprite, of course. Blitzsprite is the mid laner for PDX. I knew that. I just couldn't remember the name. Okay. I'm looking at the runes here. I don't see anything too unusual. I don't know if you really need Phase Rush on Orianna, but in this matchup, I don't mind it at all. I think it's totally fine.
Minions have spawned.
Let's see. Does Wandering Monarch have the right Morgana runes? Close. You want to have the basic ability haste rune here, and you want to have the what is it called? Yeah, the basic ability haste, and then you want to have the ability haste rune stat as well. But other than that, he got it pretty close. So there you go. Juggler's going to start on opposite sides of the map this time around. Let's see. And do we have anyone from the chat anyone from this game in the chat? I see Nectarition there. I assume that's who Nectarison is. So, and I have no idea who Fish Knives is. But yes. We do have at least one person who's in this game. Alright, direct the camera, do your thing. Oh, so far, Cassante really taking control of that lane, at least right up until he took that tower shot. Now it's not looking so good. Yeah, that is very unfortunate. That wow, he's actually gonna survive that. Okay, well there you go. Avoided the worst case scenario. You get to just TP back to lane. It's a bummer, but you got her flash too, so it's not the end of the world. You also miss a little bit of XP. What Morgana skin is this actually? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, I think it's Majestic Empress, Moon Empress, I think. But it's like a chroma. I believe that's what it is. I wasn't paying attention. so far, not a whole lot of action. No ganks yet. A little bit of skirmishing back toward the lanes, but other than that play in top lane with thanks to the tower shot, nothing's really happened. Looks like we're going to see our first, maybe our first gank of the game here. And top and bot at the same time, going to go for the gank on the Cassante, but he decides not to get CC'd to the tower by Cassante, which is probably a good idea. If I was Donovan, right now knowing that the Slambar Jack was asking me to play Morgana mid, I'd be fucking sobbing. I mean, hey, maybe he does really well. I didn't see how the game went, so I held up my hand to block it, so I don't know, maybe he pops off. Ooh, and then here comes a gank down here in the bot lane. Jack's able to get in, but doesn't really get anything out of it. And hey, I gave him credit. He got the rune set up mostly right. So I have a feeling that this matchup is probably... Whoa! Chaos going a little too crazy, and here comes the Bard roam, and that should be first blood here, I imagine, barring something really unexpected. I mean, that was crazy, even if Bard wasn't here, but now the Bard is here. I hope Waps pops off here, but Mbessa top looks so shit right now. Does it really? I mean, she seems as good as ever, but maybe you're right. We're going to get a bit of a gank here by the Jax, but he doesn't really have help, so he needs to be careful here. Oh yeah, Waps is their top. I totally didn't clock that Waps is the top laner for PDX. I'm so used to him playing AD carry. But yeah, I feel like this has to be a Cassante hero matchup. I think he just gets too tanky for Mbessa to fight early on. You're streaking for real. True. Gold lead still dead even here at about 6 minutes. So close early game so far. Also, I don't see that the... Hold on. Does the stream look weird to you? Why does the minimap... The minimap wasn't supposed to look like that, right? Am I crazy? Like it's covering up part of like the timers and stuff. Hold on. That's interesting. Maybe I'll just... I feel like it's supposed to... Hold on, let me cancel it. U-O-N. I don't know, that's weird. It doesn't always look like that, right? I'm pretty sure it doesn't usually cover that up, but whatever, I guess we'll just leave it as it is. It's fine. I did mess with some of my settings recently, so I might have broken something by accident. Yeah, PDX definitely has much better name synergy. I don't know how Nightmare managed that, by the way, how to convince everyone to put his team name. It also, like, doesn't the minimap look like partly cut off, too? Like, it doesn't... I don't know, it just looks odd to me for some reason. Something about it is off. I can't quite figure out what exactly. Beyond the timer is being cut off. But, ooh, nice Cassante ulti there. But fortunately, didn't pull him that far, so Mbessa will be able to get out. Meanwhile, his team's going to go ahead and grab Dragon down here. That'll be first Dragon for PDX. I was the only one last year. Now it's cool to do it. Yeah, right? I mean, I team with you for 3 seasons. You never changed your name to put our team name in your name. I don't know. Nightmares was a really charismatic guy. Ooh, and there's gonna be a nice double gank come up in the bot lane. Nice counter gank by the Jax, but Nightmare able to get. Or Darwin able to get on the Senna anyway, and they just don't have the damage to actually win this fight, I don't think. And no, they do not. It was a good counter gank by Jax, but they just did not have the damage to actually turn after the counter gank. PDX just a cool name. That is true. PDX is a cool team name. I'll be that. So far, it was a slow start to the game, but it has very quickly swung heavily in PDX's favor. They've secured the Feet of Warfare already. Okay. Meanwhile, Chaos going to go ahead and get dove here. And WAP's actually able to finish off the dive and escape. It didn't look. I thought Chaos might escape, but I think he didn't have enough mana to cast any of the spells. Karnas once again going to try to catch out WAPs before he can escape, but Ambess is just so mobile, I don't think it's going to be possible. No, the Mirage Bite is going to land. That should be a kill here for the Jax, and indeed it will be. Shut down over to the Jax. Oh, I don't want to be doing that. There we go. Despite the kill lead, only about a 500 gold lead here for PDX so far, but obviously they did get that first objective. And I don't think I've seen Carnage play before. Is he a sub? 14 DOT? Or you know what? I know. Morgan not puddling for grubs is a war crime. I agree. I don't think he knows that you can just puddle for grubs. Like, he could easily just go solo grubs, no problem, especially with all that vision. I think, if I remember correctly, Yanami was the jungler for PDX before, or no, for DOT before, but now she's on PDX as a sub, and I guess Connors is the new jungler for DOT, I think. But yes, I agree. Morg should have been over there puddling to solo grubs as soon as they spawned, 100%. It only takes about like 10 seconds for her to do it by herself. Well, maybe closer to 15 seconds, but you don't even have to miss minions. Just shove the wave out. Yeah, early Blackfire Torch for Wandering Monarch, so he's doing good so far. Then you neglected to get the Black Seal or the Dark Seal, but you know, I don't think it's a huge deal. Looks like they're gonna go for a gank here in the bot lane. They able to get on top? No, and Jax is here, but the support's not here, so now Morgana's gonna go ahead and TP in. But she's gonna go ahead and flash in an ulti. Did she get the double stun? No, the stun doesn't end up landing on anybody. That's very unfortunate. And now Jarvan's gonna go ahead and turn and get a great ulti to trap both of them inside. And that's tough. It's a nice attempted play by Wandering Monarch, but unfortunately not able to stick close enough. He does get one kill. Burn, not quite able to finish on the Sivir though. And yeah, that is the problem with the flash ulti plays, because it takes 3 seconds. I believe it's 3.5? Yeah, 3 seconds before the stun actually goes off. It's hard to keep people in range for 3 seconds without dying. And that's going to be second Dragon Lore for Team Paradox. About a 1.5k gold lead here. PDX now plus the 3 objectives. So yeah, they got the Feast of Strength already secured. So actually curious how much gold is Feats of Strength really worth, right? With the boots, get what? 2 magic pen, a little bit of armor.
Turret plating will fall soon.
It's probably not worth that much until you actually upgrade them. Or do you upgrade the boots rather? Yeah, Cassante still kind of, you know, even though he's 0-2, he's still kind of bullying this lane. Oh, nice ulti by Chaos, but is he going to have enough damage to finish off the Ambessa? He will. See? Look at that. See that? Oh, what that 0-2 Cassante just did? Woo! According to LoL Analytics, upgrading Berserker's Greaves lowers your win rate. You mean like upgrading the Berserker's Greaves to like the Feats of Strength version? That's really weird if that's true. I actually think that they're one of the better boots. Feats boots. I love that move speed. It's so nice. Very interesting. It looks like Morgana's probably going for a Horizon focus here second. I think that's okay. It's usually better when you're fed and anything's squishy, but I'd definitely just go Leandri's in a game like this, but that's okay. Morgana's still pretty useful no matter what you build. Ooh, and Bess is going to go ahead and land the ulti on Senna and have to... Okay, she's going to have to bail. But now the fight's going to break out. Arnis, nice Ori ulti here, but Jarvan is huge, and he's just on the backline doing whatever he wants, while the rest of the team does whatever they want. And then he just escapes. About 4k goal lead here for PDX now. And every objective so far as well. So yeah, game started a bit slow, but since then they've dominated the laning phase. And this early grouping, like what do you call this? Is this the mid game? Is this still the laning phase? The mid game starts as soon as the laning phase ends? Or is there like a transition period? I actually don't know. wins Mbessa versus Cassante. I was talking a little bit about it earlier. I think Mbessa probably wins early, but as soon as like Cassante gets like his first item, I think he starts winning because tank stats are just OP early on versus damage stats, especially on Cassante. So, I mean, you saw it. You saw Cassante 1v1 the Mbessa down 0-2. So, and pretty handily too. It wasn't even like a back and forth fight. Like the Mbessa just had to run for it. JDFB1's going to get caught out of it here, but I think he should be able to get to the portal and escape. Yeah, he will. Oh, hold on, that is interesting. Hold on just a second. Okay, so... Sivir ults here, and that was far enough to affect Bard way over here? Really? Hold on. Yeah, he ults. Oh. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that if you get close to Sivir after the ult starts, you still get the move speed. Interesting. I never realized it worked like that. Meanwhile, Jarvan's getting another great engage. He is so big, they really don't have any answers for him. Wandering Mark's going to go in. He's going to get a nice double ulti stun here, but it's just not going to be enough. And it's very interesting that if you come into Sivir's ult range after she's already casted it, you still get the move speed. That's very interesting. I assumed it was just whoever was around at the beginning of it got it, but nope. And yeah, they really do not have an answer for this Fed Jarvan right now. Not a lot of DPS on Team DOT, and so you know that the Jarvan just lives forever with his Sundered Skies. So that is tough. It's gonna get chunked there. He doesn't have any MR yet, so that Orianna damage. Ooh, very nice W by Cassante to be unstoppable during the Bard ulti. I wasn't aware that unstoppable worked versus Bard ult, but I guess it makes sense that it does. Now the question is, if you try to use Zanya's while unstoppable, does it work? I actually don't know. I assume it only applies to enemy effects that stop it.
Not interested.
And the League has so many weird edge cases that you don't really know the answer until you test it. Ooh, they're gonna look for a dive here on the top lane. Gonna pull in the Rift Herald. Say, all right, you went back up tower, that's fine. I just noticed Orianna went for the Leandri's first item. Tear into Leandri's. That is an interesting build. That's like an Anivia build. Crazy listening to a Masters player learn mechanics. They're just like me. Hey man, you gotta learn how stuff works to get good at the game, right? I swear I learn something new about this game every time I cast. Some interaction I didn't know before. Or the minutia of some ability. And at this point, if you're DOT, I don't really know what you do, because Other than Jax, I don't think your comp, and Jackson, maybe Morgana, I don't think your comp scales particularly well. I mean, I guess Senna kind of does. But you're going to have DPS problems the rest of the game. And you just really have no control over this map. And yeah, you're down 5k gold, which sucks, but you're also down a lot of objectives too. You know, they're on Soul Point already. Sure, we're gonna go ahead on. I'm not quite able to let a knock up. Morgana, yep, that's just kind of a team victim kind of deal. You just get collapsed on from inside your own jungle. Yep. At this point, now that Waps has Black Cleaver, he might be tanky and have enough armor, taking up enough armor shred to win this 1v1, which is what it's looking like. They're gonna go ahead and start the Otacon. Interesting Bartlety. Doesn't really do anything, but it's kind of cute, I guess. Go in, but the Mbessa is really strong. They kind of have to give her a lot of respect here. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to fight. Morgana is not here. She's currently pushing out top lane. She definitely should be here right now if her team's going to be here. What DOT is doing, contesting without their mid laner around, is very dangerous. So they get engaged on, they're all just going to die. Morgana's walking down. Chaos is going to go ahead and go into the middle of the team and ult Mbessa. Not quite able to ult back into the team. Ends up pulling to the side. Now Mbessa just counter ults onto the Jax. And now the route is on. This Nightmare just goes onto the back line with really no resistance. And now Wonder Monarch is here. Gets a decent ulti. Gets two-man stun. Actually does a lot of damage here, but his team's already all dead, so it's tough. Yeah. That is tough. I get what Chaos was trying to do, but I really think they just have to play around like Morgana Qs and try to engage off that. I think trying to just like force a play with Cassante when they're this far behind is just never going to end well.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, up to a 9k goal here for PDX. I think that they just gotta, they got Dragon Soul, they just gotta close it out. So, we'll fast forward here just a little bit. I have a feeling we're now officially in lead garbage time, so. And yeah, Mbessa is very clearly the stronger of the two at this point in the matchup. PDX is going to go ahead and move on to Terran. I don't even expect to test. Apparently these boots are Samira's boots. Gunmetal Greaves. That's kind of neat. Making you believe in the Ambussy again. I don't know why you stopped believing in the Mbessa in the first place. Mbessa has always been really good, I think, ever since she came out. Who has upgraded Zorks? The Oriana does. Spellslinger shoots. I expect you'll see the game end here. Watch my series from last night and you'll know why. Oh, okay, interesting. That's right, you guys played yesterday, didn't you? Maybe I'll catch that one too, we'll see. Message is gonna go way deep into the team, my goodness. She's tanky enough to do that now. Sante actually kind of gives him a bit of a fight before he goes down, but in the end, that will be game one here in favor of PDX. Indeed. So I played the PDX. The game started a little bit slow, but then they started taking off and never really looked back. So well played to them. Okay. Let me go ahead and get draft ready. Okay. So we'll go ahead and look at the game 2 draft. They are switching sides. And I need... Okay. We'll go ahead and look at game 2 here. Pretty much similar bands to last time. It's going to be the Nico first pick for PDX. That will, I assume, be a Nico support for JWM. I know he's a big fan. And then DOT is going to counter with the very fun and high counterplay, not at all degenerate Seraphine Sona bot lane. And then Yunara and Wukong. Okay. Then Xin Zhao, jungle for DOT. And Galio, yeah, so they're going for a big CC comp, big CC shield comp for DOT. And then on the other side, we've got Yone, top lane. Blind pick, which is a brave choice. I guess you could flex Aurora and Yone, depending on matchup. So, and yeah, tons of CC for DOT, but not a lot of damage. So we'll see if this comp works any better. I mean, it has potential, but yeah, I think it could be the same problem where, like, if Wukong gets too big, they just can't kill him. So, all right, we'll go ahead and load into game 2 here. All right. Yeah, the minimap still looks weird. I don't know what that's about. It's very strange. Doesn't really hurt anything, but it's just odd looking. There we go. It will be... I guess you really still could swap these matchups. I really don't like the idea of having to play Yone playing against Kennen. That sounds unplayable. So maybe they'll swap, but we'll see. Then again, Yone versus Galio is not a lot better. Maybe you just take your lumps. He does have D-Blade, so if he is indeed against Kennen, that could be painful. Zen better get fed or DOT is cooked. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree. He's their only AD champ, so if he doesn't do well, they could be in for a bad time. That is the thing with these, if you're gonna run like this double enchanter bot lane, you need to make sure you bring enough AD elsewhere on the team, either mid or top. Just jungle is probably not enough. DOT gonna go and get a ward down. And it looks like they are indeed going to initiate the lane swap. So it will be Aurora top versus the Kennen. And Yone versus the Galio. I do like that better. I don't think it's a great matchup for Yone either way, but I think it's definitely preferable. I don't see Aurora doing anything to Galio past like the first few minutes, so I think playing against Ken makes a lot more sense. So good on PDX to work that out. This is a very expensive bot lane here for DOT, by the way. This is the two ultimate skins for Seraphine and Sona. So this is a 6,700 RP bot lane. A lot more scrapping early in lane compared to last game. So we'll see if we can get anyone to get a solo kill before the junglers get involved. Where's Eric? It's a Saturday. Is Eric sleeping? He's probably still asleep. I know Eric is a very late night kind of guy. Wouldn't surprise me to see if he was still sleeping this time of day. Ooh, nice stun by the cannon there. And yeah, both junglers just fine to just split the jungle so far. Jeff, if you're playing like a jungle game and you just full clear into taking one scuttle, do you feel good about that? Because you just like kind of go even in handshake the early game, or would you rather like more stuff's going on? Sorry, I'm in a game right now. Alright, don't worry about it. I'd really like to see, it might be too late now, but I'd really like to see Galio being a lot more aggressive in this matchup. I think if you just let Yone do whatever he wants in lane, the matchup gets way more difficult. Because Yone's early game is actually quite weak. So if you just pressure him, I think you can just beat him up. Depends on matchup. Do you win early, better double scuttle or fight? Makes sense. And DOT ready to go for this dragon the moment it spawns. I like to see that. That's good. Dragon prio. The two of them. Got their double tier bot lane all ready to go. However, PDX is going to try to contest here. They do have the numbers. Ooh, nice flash snare on the Xin Zhao by Nico. But now Galio is here. Unfortunately, not quite able to land a taunt on anybody. And are they Xin Zhao going to be able to get back into the pit and still secure the dragon? No. He's going to barely get it. But he is going to end up going down, but he will secure the dragon. And now, Wandering Monarch just trying desperately to land a CC on somebody. They're going to land on Yunara. Has to both flash. But now the taunt is coming in as well, but do they have the damage to actually finish her off afterwards? She's got barrier. Will Galio live? Will Yunara die? The answer is no and yes. Meanwhile, Xin Zhao manages to finish off the Nico on the back while all that is happening. So it's a good start here for DOT. Unfortunate the dragon got stolen, but in the end, came out ahead on the kills. You got Beats of Warfare, so not a terrible outcome. Although this is about to be bad, because this is extremely greedy to be trying to do Krugs there. So, and yeah, the yeah, very greedy. I respect the greed, but sometimes a little too much. Gold dead even so far. Very surprised to see Galio not go the Chain Vest first, rather than the Bombies. I feel like that would help more against Yone. Just get the Chain Vest. Plus, it's good against the jungle as well. But I don't know. I think it's probably fine. They're pretty tanky on Galio. You probably survive it either way. Let's go ahead and swap these since they swapped roles this game.
Between worlds.
Get that caught out here is gonna get chunked. I also find it very interesting. They have Nectarish. They're 7.5 point players playing Sona support. Now, I'm not the captain of Team DOT. Nectarish is, so obviously he's the one calling the shots. But putting your best player on Sona support is a choice, in my opinion. Meanwhile, the fight's going to go on right here in the top lane. Galio has going to have to force the back off because of the Yone. Now, Kennen is here, but he's kind of caught out. Now, the Galio ult's coming in. Gotta help. Is that going to be enough? No, it will not. He's going to end up securing 2 of the Void Grubs, but Galio will die. And Kennen is able to escape, and he needs to just ditch his jungler here. I'm sorry, let Connors go. Yep. You got 2 of the Grubs. You're a 4-fun player. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, people play in Beer League for different reasons, you know. They want to play the role they want to play, even if it's not necessarily optimal. So, hey. If you're having fun playing Sona support in Beer League, go for it. You hating on L? No. I like Sona. It's just having your 7.5 point player on Sona just and they're not even normally a support main just seems like an odd choice. But Nectarish seeming can do what he wants. Right. About a 1.5K goal lead here for PDX. That great early game for DOT did not last long, unfortunately. They're going to go ahead and try Dragon, but Aurora's coming in. And there's going to be a great Aurora flank. They're all kind of clumping up for it. Kennen's going to go ahead and... Flash? Oh, he has Hex Flash. Oh, interesting. I didn't notice that until now. Hex Flash Kennen, that is an interesting. Okay, so he Hex Flashes over the wall, and he's going to go on the back line. He gets interrupted by Wukong, unfortunately, so not quite able to get to the Yunara in time. And now all the AoE walls are going to come out for PDX. I think this will end up being a hard team fight win for them. That was a great reaction by Nightmare, realizing what was happening, and immediately RCCing the Kennen before he could get on the back line. And it's a tough break for DOT there. It was a good flank to start, but unfortunately wasn't quite able to finish it. And Wukong at Triforce already. That is tough. Got a 3K goal lead here for PDX.
Making haste.
Waps kind of bullying the Ken a little bit. Now, Yon has successfully made it past his weak early game unscathed, so Yon pick justified so far. Bromstein's going to go ahead and get Dome at the tower. Did they actually have the damage to finish her off? Him, her, Yunara. Can they kill the Yunara? That's what I'm trying to get at here. Yes, but Nectarish will end up going down to the tower shot, unfortunately. And then Yone in the top lane. Oh no, Aurora comes bot and finishes off the Seraphine as well. That's tough. And now Kennen and Xin both just trapped under this tower. Kennen's gonna try to turn. He's going out like a man. He is gonna go ahead and take down one with him, or take the Nico with him, but yeah, Galio does ult in, not quite in time to save Zinzao, but is in time to avenge him. Does close the gold gap a bit, only about 2K now. I do like how Seraphine and Sona's tier stacks are all perfectly in sync, or at least they were right until I said that. Are they going to be able to catch Yunara here? Indeed they will, and she's going to go down. Yunara getting a little too comfortable being close to that Galio. PDX gonna go ahead and move in here on the Rift Herald. Not quite have feats of strength yet, but they will as soon as they get the tower. Well, actually, no, they won't, because they didn't get the kills one. DOT got the kills one this game, right? I don't know. It was a while ago, but I'm pretty sure. Because they had a good start, so it'll likely come down to whoever gets first tower here. Oh, I bet on PDX to get it. Bot's already pretty low. You could probably just group as a team and 4 shut down the tower. And Nightmare already extremely fed on the Wukong, which is rough to say the least. I'm waiting for the 5-man Hex Flash Kennenar. That would be something. That would be a wild ass play for sure. DOT kind of looking kind of aggressive here for a play. I don't know if they want to, though. I guess they see Yone away, so they want to look for something here. They are going to pressure the dragon, but Yone does have TP. And there is indeed the TP. It's a nice pincer flank. A Yone on one side and a Nico on the other. Kennen's going to go in, but the Nico's going to land the massive 5-man knockup, and that's going to... Actually, wow. Even with the 5-man knockup, it still looks like DOT is actually going to win this team fight. That is crazy. We're going to have to look at that again, because that is a wild... That is a very unexpected end to that team fight. Okay, so let's go ahead and look here. So this is Nico on the side. As she goes in, she gets a 5-man knockup, but I guess Yunara was not in the fight, so there wasn't a lot of follow-up. And meanwhile, DOT got the wombo of their own with the Galli ulti and Seraphine and Sona. And in the end, because Yunara was spotted the fight for so long, DOT ends up winning the team fight despite that phenomenal ulti by JWM on the Nico. That's tough. That is tough. Yeah, I guess Yunara maybe just caught in kind of a weird position and couldn't get in the DPS range until it was too late. Now they're trying to go ahead and move this dragon. Can Conartis finish off the Aurora here? Yes. Okay. DOT gonna go ahead and grab this dragon now, I assume, barring another crazy play. JWM is here, but no ulti this time. Galio's gonna go ahead and flash over the wall. It's gonna be a nice double taunt. They're gonna turn on the Nico, but now Galio's gonna, or Luco's gonna sneak into the pit. And Yone actually ends up securing the dragon, so neither junglers gets it. And that is tough. That's gonna be third dragon for PDX. A tough steal there, given up by DOT. And their engage play doesn't really end up working out either, so that's tough. They just got swindled, bamboozled, hoodwinked. Other words that mean those things. So it was a nice, well orchestrated theft by PDX there. Yeah, still only about a 1K goal lead here for PDX, but obviously huge lead on the objectives, and that could prove decisive as the game goes on. DOT's had enough of Aurora shenanigans. He's gonna go for it. Does he have the damage to actually finish her off? Oh, misses the Q. Unfortunately, that will indeed be enough. That means he's outplayed, and Blitz gonna turn it. Well played by Breastplate to immediately ult out at the beginning and then ult back in to secure the kill. And then, unfortunately, Seraphine, or not Seraphine, Yunara's gonna go ahead and get caught in the transition here. And ends up going down. Galio opting for the magic resist Sunfire item, which is an interesting choice. The only AP champ is, I guess, Aurora and Nico. I mean, they do have a decent amount of AP, but I don't know. I guess maybe you go play Steelcast with the Sunfire with the MR version. I don't know. Maybe that is indeed the best way to handle that situation. Hard to say. Kennen not here. He does have TP, but there's going to be an ambush here on the Galio. And now Yone's going to go on the backline, going to land on the Sona. And now trying hard. Ooh, Nico able to get on the backline as well. So far, Seraphine and Sona's still pumping, but Conartis is not going to hold for long. Kennen is finally here. Not quite able to get a good ulti. He went the wrong way. He needed to go help his backline, not try to go for the Yunara. The Yunara doesn't really matter if these guys live, so. Was he really late? What happened here? It took him so long. Was he just not paying enough attention? Like, he's still not TPing. He's still not TPing. Okay, he's finally TPing. Okay. Well, that is definitely a shot calling issue there at that point. That was a very late TP by Kennen. I feel like if Kennen TPs to that, gets here 4 or 5 seconds earlier, the fight goes completely differently. Probably kills these two and helps save his backline, but yeah, it's a very late TP by Chaos. He's going to go ahead and move on to Otacon here. Poor Yone actually pretty homeless at the moment. Not even, still has a while to go for his second item, but his team hasn't really needed him to do a lot of damage so far, so he's kind of gotten away with it. Lap's just going to go ahead and engage on the Sona here. And ends up, Seraphine ends up having to flash out to escape. And exhaust as well. So good play by Yone. Didn't really have to blow a lot to make that happen, just his ulti. Ooh, nice flash ult by the Sona on the Yone. He did have a Q3 ready to go, so he's going to be able to create some distance. And now Wukong, nice counter gank by Wukong, and ooh, nice knockback by the Xin ulti to knock Nico away from his team. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough to make a meaningful difference. And it is not. And you have 2 members of DOT nowhere to be accounted for that fight, so DOT getting a little bit too excited trying to catch out Yone there. They end up getting collapsed on by the rest of PDX. PDX, let go! Yeah, they look pretty good. They look pretty good. And that will be a Dragon Soul for them. I believe that's the 2nd straight Mountain Soul. Which is... The odds of that are like, what, 1 in 6, 1 in 7? How many different types of dragons are there now? I actually don't remember. But yeah, it will indeed be Mountain Soul. Seraphine's going to get caught here, gets a nice ulti off, but will it be enough to actually do anything? No, and now Yone's going to go ahead and ult on the back line here. He's going to finish off Seraphine and then pop back over. Ooh. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on Chaos. He's going to have to back off. Wap's going to go ahead and go for the Sona here, and he's going to get it. Yep. Pop goes from the E. About a 6K gold lead here for PDX. They're definitely the better scaling team as well, I would say. So I'm not sure what you do here if you're DOT. You kind of banked hard on the double enchanter bot lane, and while that's worked pretty well, not much else has. So. Kennen going to go ahead on Nico. She's going to get one shot, but now Wuko's going to jump over the wall, and that's going to go ahead and take down Sona and Kennen here, I would imagine. Gives the Seraphine ulti, nice double charm, but no real follow-up, and she's going to end up going down as well. After the Seraphine, after the Aurora combo, and indeed she goes down. Triple kill for Wukong. Yep, I have a feeling this game is going to be wrapped up here pretty soon. Should be an easy parent take here for PDX. Indeed it is. Unfortunately, yeah, Wandering Monarch is not quite strong enough to handle the Yone on the side lane. Nice and very nice engaged combination with the Wukong and the Nico. They've done a really good job on that combo so far this game. Yeah, I think they're just not just too far behind to put up meaningful resistance, and that should be game here, I believe. Indeed it will. So that will be a 2-0 series win for PDX. Another strong series by them, another tough series for DOT, but hey, it's a long season. There's still 2/3 of the season left to go, so, you know, we'll see what we can figure out going forward. Let's go ahead and... Let's see. Apparently they're yapping about something. How many series this week still haven't been casted? So there's this one. This one. So is it only 2 so far that haven't been casted? I think. Well, I know we have a couple more. We have some more series left to play this week still, but was this one casted? No English versus FF15? I don't remember that. Did he? Hold on. Did he cast that? And I just didn't catch it. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess he did. Okay. The title just didn't change, so I was a little confused. Got it. Okay, so yeah, so I guess it is just WTF versus PvP. Wait, did he cast that one too? I'm so confused. Which one? What was the other one that he casted? It was CR versus Jat, right? And it got split into 2, so that's right. Okay. It's a little confusing. Pop an upper and cast them all. I think I'll cast one more. I'm not going to cast all of them, but we can go ahead and do WTF versus PvP as well, because that one was not casted, so I will go ahead and look into that. So let me put my blocker up here so I can see what I'm working with. Okay. So PvP, that would be Pyroan's team. So let me see. Let's see, so this would be this series here. Got it. Oh goodness, this might be a long one. Okay, hold on. Fuck it, we'll do it. Why not? Okay, so we will I will go ahead and get ready to restart the stream, and then we will cast WTF versus PvP. So I will be back momentarily.